Okay, so now we're in Trump's second term and the testing phase is over. This time, he's not just experimenting with tariffs. He's building a new system. The first Monday of his return to the White House when Trump signed an executive order reinstating and expanding U.S. tariffs across multiple sectors. The numbers were bold. 25% tariffs on all Chinese imports, no more carve-outs, 100% tariffs on electric vehicles from China, pharmaceutical tariffs designed to break our dependence on Chinese generic drug precursors, new steel and auto tariffs that included U.S. allies, not just adversaries. The last part sent shockwaves through Europe and Canada, because it signaled something clear. Trump's goal wasn't to punish enemies. It was to force everyone, friend or foe, to bring their manufacturing back to U.S. soil or risk losing access to the American consumer. This was the execution phase of the American First economic doctrine. Let's break it down country by country. China. China's export machine kicked into overdrive in early 2025, not because it was thriving, but because it knew Trump's tariffs were about to shut the gate. EV makers like BYD and NIO raced to dump vehicles into Europe and Southeast Asia. Chinese steel firms undercut global markets, trying to maintain volume. But U.S. access? Gone. With tariffs at 100%, Chinese goods are simply priced out of the American market. And it's not just tariffs. The Trump administration is now pushing legislation that would block U.S. pension funds from investing in Chinese firms and ban Chinese purchases of American farmland and critical infrastructure. This is decoupling on purpose, and Beijing knows it. They can't win this trade war because they can't lose access to the American economy. And Trump, he's not offering a deal. He's offering a way out on his terms. Germany. Germany is the classic example of a country that bet on globalism and lost. Their economy runs on exports, and those exports require cheap Russian energy, open access to U.S. and Chinese markets, global trust in the Made in Germany label. They're all three in a crisis now. Russian gas is politically toxic, Chinese demand is flatlining, and Trump's new auto tariffs target German EVs directly. Volkswagen, Mercedes, and BMW, they're all cutting jobs, delaying production, and warning of existential threats to the German model. Meanwhile, Trump is telling Ford and Tesla to build at home or get out of the way. Canada. Then there's Canada, America's closest cultural and geographic ally. But in the new system, Canada is not automatically protected. Under former Prime Minister Trudeau, Canada coasted on U.S. goodwill. Now with Mark Carney in office, the country is trying to pivot, but it may be too little too late. The U.S. Inflation Reduction Act and new tariff laws has funneled billions into U.S.-based clean energy and battery production. Meanwhile, Canada's heavily subsidized Volkswagen battery plant is already behind schedule and under fire for being uncompetitive. And as Trump's pharmaceutical reshoring ramps up, Canadian companies that were once backup suppliers are being pushed aside. This isn't isolationism, it's realignment. And Canada is being told, if you want to be part of the system, invest here, bring jobs here, or be treated like any other foreign exporter. Mexico. Now here's the curveball. Mexico is winning. Under Trump's reshoring policies, Mexico has become one of the biggest beneficiaries of supply chain diversification. Tesla is expanding in Nuevo Leon. Taiwanese and South Korean firms are building factories in Baja California. American suppliers are relocating from China to Mexico to take advantage of the USMCA rules. Mexico is now being viewed not as a threat, but as a strategic extension of the U.S. industrial base. And the difference? Mexico leaned in. They aligned with Trump's economic vision, and they're getting rewarded for it. In just over 100 days, Trump's second term has done more to rewrite global trade map than any administration in modern history, whether you like them or not. The media doesn't know what to do with that, because they still want to argue about tone, about style, about decorum, which he has none of any of those. But the world isn't reacting to tweets anymore. It's reacting to policy. And the policy is clear. Well, not really clear, but you know what I mean. If you want access to the U.S. market, earn it. This isn't just a trade reset. It's the construction of a new American-led economic world. Now, will the rest of the world follow? I don't know. And it's happening in real time.